there are different systems in your body that change as you age. And we talked last week about the metabolic system changing. And that's why all of a sudden you're just gaining weight for no reason, but this musculoskeletal system changes too. So I'm going to do it. Let's think of it like checklist again, because I never want to waste your time. I always want to be here to give you new thoughts and to get you kind of moving in a positive direction. So after 40, musculoskeletal system changes. So my exercise needs to change. Okay, I need to incorporate 3 things: strength, flexibility, balance. We might even throw some endurance in there. Let's put the 4th one in there. So I need to make sure that when I'm looking at my weekly routine, that it needs to have a good balance. It can't be same, or I'm going to get injured. Okay, next step. I need to be adding in more collagen and creatine so that I nourish my joints. I'm either going to do that through food or I'm going to do that through supplementation. Okay, next step. Marker of longevity that doesn't get enough credit, and that is grip strength. And so I've talked to you all about the fact that I interviewed this woman, Katie Bowman, on my podcast, and she's a movement specialist, and she talked a lot about how we need to look at things like gardening, where you're pulling weeds and you're getting your hands in the dirt and you're digging. We need to look at that as exercise for longevity. So sometimes exercise isn't just what you do at the gym. Exercise isn't just what we think of. I'm going to get off my butt and I'm going to go do something exercise-wise. It's not. It's functionality. That's where you need to start thinking about, what do I need to do today so I can be the best 80 and 90-year-old version of myself. This is why at 56 years old, I've taken up surfing, because I'm like, okay, the balance, the unpredictability, the upper body strength, like there's so much in this one sport that's going to serve me as a 90-year-old, and I can do it till I'm 90. So what are some of those things? The digging, the chopping, the whisking, all of that. Grip strength matters. It matters for functionality when you're 80. My father, he has degeneration in his fingers. He has degenerative joint disease, and he can't button his clothes. You know, when we're 40, we don't think about, oh, I can't button my clothes, or he sometimes can't open up a jar. And, you know, he, in his 40s and his 50s, he wasn't thinking, what can I do to keep my grip strength and grip flexibility in good shape so that at 80, I can open up a jar? But I can tell you that the 80-year-old man who can't open up a jar and he can't button his shirt gets very frustrated. It's like that, losing that functionality. So this is one of the things about aging that I wanted to change in this book conversation, is I really wanted us to start to see that we need to set our life up for functionality. We're not, you know, yes, we want to look good, but maybe in our younger years, we are so focused on looking good. And what I'm hoping you're gathering from everything I'm teaching you is that then as we get older, we need to function well. That's more important than how you look. So grip strength, nobody, I don't know about you all, but I don't think anybody looks at their hands and goes, well, God, my hands are not looking beautiful today. Best guess I should work them out. Like we only think about the body parts that we're going to see in the mirror. But you absolutely need to focus on grip strength. So back to those, if you're lifting weights, heavy weights, that's giving you grip strength. If you have a pull-up bar, highly recommend that you just hang from a pull-up bar. See how, start timing yourself and see how long you can hang from a pull-up bar. So those kind of things become really important for the aging brain. So let me know if that is, again, what I'm hoping when you come to my live, that you're like, might be thinking like this, like you have one way of thinking, and then you hear something I say, and all of a sudden you expand the way you're looking at this beautiful body that you get to live in. And so when it comes to fitness, grip strength is a biggie, huge. So think about what you're doing in the kitchen. Think about what you're doing in the garden. Think about getting a pull-up bar, thinking about lifting heavy weights. Just take inventory over the next couple of days of like where you're using your hands in a strength promoting way.
Okay, check this out. I have a free fasting guide for you all. It's free. And it's going to teach you all the basics of fasting. It's going to teach you how to kill hunger when you fast, which is really cool. And it's going to show you how to break your fast, among many other things. All you got to do is click on the link below and enjoy.
Okay, the second thing that I found in the research that I did for Age Like a Girl that was really interesting was the power of squatting. So the story of the grandmother hypothesis goes from a fitness level is that these women went on a trek for 7 hours a day. They went walking. So they carried they carried bags to hold, or baskets, I should say, to be able to carry the tubers home that they collected. They had to take the kids that were 4 and 5. I'm sure they had a few of them on their back. This is where we see things like rucking probably is helpful because it's in our evolutionary design, because weighted walking is something that we were made for back in the hunter-gatherer days. They walked for 7 hours. And then when they got to where they had to found the tubers, they had to dig in with their hands, but then they had to squat. Now think about this for a moment. How many of us practice squatting every day? And how many hip replacements are there out there for menopausal women? So something as simple as just in your breaks, like when I get off this live, go and squat, practice squatting and opening those hips up. You need them to be flexible. You want your hips to be, you want them to be smooth and glide in a nice, easy way. You don't want them stiff, because stiffness is where cartilage is rubbing against cartilage. So beyond strength training, beyond flexibility, beyond endurance, beyond balance, we need to think about grip strength, and we need to think about squatting. And those are like the 5 things. So when I told you I put weekly protocols in here, they incorporate all 5 of those things, which is really, really cool. Okay, let's see if you have any questions for me. Desperates. Okay, so Rose, 60-year-old, 3 first month of keto IF, losing 2 kilograms last month, not a gram. Glucose from 90 climbed to 550, energy low, changing, got nothing. What else can I do? Okay, well, Rose, I'm going to guess that you've done some longer fasts. So first 3 months she lost, and 4 months, not a gram. Okay, so I think what we need to do is discuss what happens when you're getting a result with fasting and keto and you stop getting the result. Because it's very different. There's 2 different paths we can go with this, and not knowing Rose's background or anything about her life, it's hard to, I have to make a general idea. First, a lot of times when you first come to fasting, you get great results in the beginning. And then that, like she says, she's intermittent fasting. It might be time for a longer fast. And I would encourage you to try a 36 or a 48. You just might need to get a little bit longer into those fasting rhythms so that you can tell your body like, hey, you need to drop more weight. So for some people, that's the answer. Okay, this is going to sound like I just contradicted myself, because for some people, the answer is they're fasting too much. So here's Rose. I don't know Rose's complete history, but I do know that she said she just started, she was getting great results, and she was consistent doing everything. And so, I don't know what the longest fast, Rose, you've done, but it might be you need to go into a longer fast. But then I also have people who are going into longer fasts. They get such great results with fasting, and they keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And the body goes into this place of like, oh, wait, we don't know when food's coming in. We're going to slow the metabolism down. So this is why in Fast Like a Girl, and I repeated it, a section on it for postmenopausal women and Age Like a Girl, I'm bringing back the 6 fasts. You got to be cycling through the 6 fasts. So you got to cycle from 12 hours to 72. And I gave you that tool because sometimes you got to pull the longer ones out to get a better result. But then some people love how they feel in the longer ones, and they're fasting too much. And so then they end up starting to, they need to stop fasting like for a couple of days. So not knowing Rose's history, I would say, Rose, try longer fast if you haven't. If your answer is, I've been longer fasting, then the answer is stop fasting for a couple of weeks and actually go to nature, stop fasting, stop doing keto, go to nature's carbs, and then go back to fasting and keto and see what happens. I don't want you to waste money on supplements. Your body's a miracle. Buy the right ones. Sometimes you don't buy them at all. Check out this video so you don't waste money on your supplement. When we do the same probiotic over and over and over again, what we're doing is we're creating a monoculture in our gut.